Hey, what's up, y'all? For those of you that don't know me, my name is Lorefield. For Suicide Awareness Month, I decided to tell a little story about when I tried to suicide. I've been fighting depression for quite a long time, and then finally, October 2012, the depression overtook me. And when it overtook me, I decided it's time to suicide. I didn't care who it affected, and I didn't care what anyone thought. I just wanted to die. I wanted my life to end. So about 11 o'clock at night, I decided to go ahead and take a bunch of medicines. It was estimated about 175 pills, pain pills, and everything was fine for the first hour. The next thing you know, I was outside sitting on the porch, and my arms started shaking. And I thought, well, it's October. I lived in Indiana at the time. It's just a little chilly outside, so maybe I'm just getting a little cold. And with the medicines, just made me colder. Well, next thing you know, my whole body started shaking. And after my whole body started shaking, that's when I completely blacked out. So the rest of the story is from stories that was told after the suicide attempt. After I blacked out, I ended up going into a full body seizure. When I went to a full body seizure, it threw my head into the concrete and knocked me out. Next thing you know, I was in cardiac arrest and I was no longer breathing. And so when 911 finally got there, I just started breathing, and they took my temperature. It was about 108 degrees temperature. Well, of course, they took me to the hospital for a suicide attempt. And when I got to the hospital, I actually remember waking up. I'm thinking it was a dream, like I just fell asleep. I remember being laid down, bright lights all above me, and people trying to hold me down. So I just started punching and fighting. Didn't realize I was actually in the hospital, that they were trying to keep me alive. Well, next thing you know, I didn't wake up for a couple more days. Apparently, I was in ICU as critical condition, and my family was told that I had a very small chance of surviving. That they were doing a CAT scan to pretty much see if I was a vegetable. If I was a vegetable, they could choose whether they wanted to pull the line on life support or not, and it'd be totally up to them. What they ended up doing, and I did have a little brain damage, but it wasn't enough to be a vegetable. It was still enough where they couldn't pull the line. A few days later, I wake up from ICU, and life support's taking out the tubes, taking out my throat, and I end up not being able to move, obviously, because the seizures were so bad. It tore up a lot of my muscles in my body. And to this day, now it is 4 years later almost, I still fight the after effects of the suicide attempt. At that time, it seemed like it was worth it, but it's really not. It's really hard to go through, and people without depression doesn't know what it's like to go through. People there to talk to you, but especially psychiatrists. A lot of psychiatrists just go by the book. Yeah, they went to college for it, but it's because they go by the book. It's not the same talking to someone that's had it before. And someone that's had it before can actually talk to you better because they understand where you're at. They understand the pain you feel. But it's not worth it. It's really not. Like I said, years now, I'm fighting amnesia and other brain problems because of it. Because of the high fever, because of the so high of pain medicines, because of the full body seizures were so bad and busting my head open. I have a lot of after effects of it that will never go away. And then my kids, what would they thought? You're more of a failure of doing it. And my family, it's not worth it, y'all. If you get to that point, find someone to talk to. If you know someone that's fighting depression, give them a hug. Tell them you love them. And maybe you can save a life. So hopefully this story helps someone out there. Just remember, smile. You're beautiful.